bee's knees. I'm not going to do that. You know about the bee's knees. Yeah, so, hello, guys. I'm sorry I haven't been here in a while. I've got lots of personal problems. I know I'm alone in that area, but all sorts of emotional trauma of my own doing. I think I'm depressed. I think I have depression. I haven't seen a doctor or anything, but I saw an advertisement on television, and there's this woman, and she was just like, and I'm like, oh, I've been like that before. This isn't good. And they said, have you ever felt really sad? I was like, yes, I have. My God, whatever this is, I need to get it. And so they go through all these things, and one of them was, have you lost interest in activities that you used to enjoy? And show this woman like baking or some crap, and then she's not baking in the next shot. So I was like, I think I have depression, because I used to really, really love playing with Legos. And I haven't done that in like 12 years. So I think I'm depressed. I've got an anger issue too, as you can probably tell. I'm very angry. An example is, we're walking in Northampton, and in Northampton Heights, you might notice we have a healthy population of, I guess the best euphemism would be vagrants. And they're scattered about, and they make Northampton. I love them, and I'm always giving them money, hanging out with them, and I love these guys. And but the dynamic has changed now, because I was with my girlfriend, and I'm talking to this guy. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm great. How are you?" And talking, and he's like, I gave him like 15 cents or something. I'm like, "Hey." And he's like, "Hey, girlfriend," and he like grabbed my girlfriend's hand and gave her a kiss on her hand, and I was like, "That's so nice of him." She didn't think it was that great. She got kind of upset. She thought she was going to get. I tried to convince her most diseases you can't get from saliva, so it's fine. And she got all upset about it, and it kind of changed my dynamic a little. And this other guy was sort of wandering down the street, and she was like 15 feet away from me for some reason, and he goes, and he's like, "You looking for a boyfriend?" And she got very upset by that. And it might have been a misunderstanding. You might have said, "Are you looking for your boyfriend?" Because I know he's 15 feet over there. But it's misunderstanding or not, she got very upset by it. And I get very upset when my girlfriend gets upset. And I get kind of that caveman, like, I have to be defensive. So I go, "He said that?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm being very upset." And I was like, "Well, that guy, I am going to kick him in the stomach so hard that he vomits his own sphincter." And she kind of was like, I'm going to go to a beehive and tell all the bees in there that he's a bear who's after their honey, and he said they were stupid and fat, and then they're all going to attack him and sting him until he dies." She was like, "Oh." And I'm going to have sex with him and have his child, and it's going to be his firstborn child, and when it's born, I'm going to throw it into traffic right in front of him. And that'll make him so sad that he'll kill himself. And she just goes, "Honey, that is so sweet." So sometimes it's good to get angry, I guess. But I think I have an issue with it. But I've also got, I'm an addictive, I like the term addictive personality. It's like there's only this one personality that's addictive. But I think I've got it. You know, for example, I've mentioned before I work at a yarn store who specializes in yarn, mostly in yarn accessories. And you know, I've heard, I'm like, I don't see what the big deal is, but people are going nuts over this stuff. I'm in the shipping department and people are ordering yarn for next day air. They have to have it tomorrow. And if they lived in Massachusetts, they'd probably get there anyway, but they're going to pay $40 to get this one ball of yarn tomorrow. And I'm like, I do not understand that. But then, you know, Christmas was coming, and I'm like, you know what, why don't I give this thing a try? So, you know, I YouTubed how to crochet, and I'm, you know, doing it with a little hook, and it all started out really innocently, you know. I was just crocheting, you know, little things, and, you know, I was using acrylic, it's not cashmere or anything, and, you know, I was just doing it on the weekends, you know, socially, and in a little knitting circle, and, you know, it was no big deal. But then, you know, I guess this progression started to settle in because, you know, it wasn't long before, you know, I figured, oh, I might as well try knitting. And, you know, once I tried the needle, I was just hooked on it. I couldn't stop. I started knitting, and I had to knit at least 10 stitches just to get out of bed in the morning. I was knitting in the bathroom, like, just a minute. Someone's in here, you know, they're waiting on the couch, like, come on. And I was, like, lying to people about it, like, were you knitting at 3 in the morning last night? I was like, no, I was drinking. And, you know, it just really started to take over. A big wake-up call was when I got arrested for DWK, which is driving while knitting. You know, I figured I could just do it at red lights and nobody would notice, but I smashed into a tree. It's hard to, you know, it requires both hands. But, you know, I still thought I could control it, and, you know, it wasn't long before I was selling yarn to support my habit out on the streets, you know, telling them, Barber, I told you, no cash, no cashmere, you know. Just get out of here. But I wasn't very good at it. I ended up having to steal my grandmother's possession, you know, have a DVD player, like, come on, I just need one ball. You know, out on the street, offering people favors just for like a strand that big, so I can finish my project. You know, I had to knit at least a mitten if I was going to do anything. And it wasn't, you know, soon I was making trips to Colombia and Peru, because they got really, that's the source, they got all the alpaca down there, and it's, you know, I'm doing deals with Noriega's cousin, who specializes in yarn. Like, you call this alpaca? There's acrylic in here, I can see it. Oh man, it really got a mess. I got really into the illegal, you know, there's a black market. I was exporting the fur of a rare tamarind. I could make a really nice yarn. My God, it was like just feeling it, I'd be like, oh my God, it's so good. And I mean, you know the rest of the story. They found me passed out, just covered in yarn, in a closet with needles in my hands. And so that's why I haven't been here. I was at rehab, and you know, at the rehab they had us doing constructive activities like drugs. You know, lots of cocaine and stuff like that, just to keep us busy, so we could get over our addiction. And it's worked out pretty well. 2 days without a stitch, so it's good to be here.
Keep going.
Thanks. Thank you. We have more time? Is there more time? I just wanted to talk really quickly about ham salad.
Go ahead.
Okay, just 2 seconds. Ham salad is really disgusting. It's in the thing in the supermarket, and it's gotta be, I have to say 90% of it has to get thrown away. It looks like flesh-colored mayonnaise. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because there's no, at a certain point they had to be like, why do we even put ham in this stuff? Nobody buys it, it's just there for decoration. It just makes people sick, and I don't know why it's there. And it's basically a mayonnaise and ham milkshake that I guess you put on toast or something, and I hate it. And I don't want it to exist anymore, that's all.